Hey everyone, welcome back to Roulette Fever. Today I'm back with a trend following strategy. In this strategy, we are not only gonna follow the winner, but we're gonna follow the chops, we're gonna follow the terrible doubles and everything. But the USP of this strategy lies in its progression. The progression that we're gonna take while playing with this strategy makes this strategy really safe, and you will have multiple chances to come back to the game. So that's how this strategy becomes really effective. And I've intentionally made sure that the progression doesn't become really lengthy one, because otherwise it will become a bit more risky than what I am accustomed to. So, and I always emphasize on making sure that the strategy is really safe to use, first of all. So, okay, rather than waiting any longer, let's just dive into it. It's fine that we have an empty spin to begin with. Okay, so in this case, we're gonna follow the winner. Okay, and let's start with a $1 unit, and we're going to bet on the black. Okay, and this progression is really slow but effective. Okay, so when we will go deeper, you will get to understand. Again, we are going to bet on the black, and we're going to keep our unit size same. When we win, we don't need to do anything fancy. Okay, so we have faced a loss, so obviously we are chasing the winner here. So we are going to move to red, but for the first round we don't need to change our unit size. Okay, we're going to keep it to $1. But remember that each and every number has two steps of progression. Okay, so like this, we lost the first $1 bet, and again we have lost the second $1 bet, and now we're gonna move to $2. Okay, but it doesn't always increase like this, like one step or two-step progression. Okay, so in this case we're gonna move to black, because we can't consider it as chop until we face back-to-back chops on the 4 rounds, back-to-back 4 rounds. So in this case we're gonna bet with $2 on black. Okay, we need at least 4 rounds of chops to determine whether it's really chop or not. Okay, so now we can see that for the last 4 rounds it's been choppy. So now we are gonna bet on black once again, but with $2. But you need to remember that we are playing with two steps on each and every number. Okay, so we played with $1 on for two steps. Okay, I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. And now again we are going to remain on $2 for two steps. So this is the second step of the $2 progression. Okay, so we're going to remain on black. So if we lose this one, then we are going to move forward. Okay, so this is the worst thing that can happen when you are chasing both the streak and the chops. So now it's again red. Okay, so now we are going to move from 2 to $4, but we are not going to follow the martingale or anything like that. Okay, so now we are going to bet with $4 on red. So I hope you can understand that we are staying on the same number for two steps. Okay, and then we are moving forward with this progression. Okay, so now again we are going to move to black with $4. Again we are chasing the winner here, and see what happens. Well, we lose once again. It's been a choppy start. What can I say? But anyway, again, we are going to bet on red, but this time we are going to bet with $6. Okay. And this progression has a limitation. I'm not going to go over that. But let's see, how deep do we need to go? Wow, this has been really choppy. So now we are in a chop, as you can see. So again, we are going to bet with $6, but this time on red once again. Okay. Let's win. Okay, we have a win. But remember, we won on the second step of the $6 progression. Okay, so now we will be back to the first step of the $6 progression, as we are staying for 2 rounds on a single number. Okay, I mean on a single unit. So anyway, so now we are going to be back on the first step of the $6 progression, and it's been choppy, so you're going to bet on the black. I'm gonna write down the entire progression anyway so that none of you feel confused. Okay, I can understand because English is not my first language, as you can understand very easily. So I will write it down the entire progression so that it becomes clear to each and every one of you. Now we are going to move to the second step of the $6 progression, and again we are going to bet on the rate. Okay. Okay, we win. So again we are going to come down to the first step of the $6 progression, and we are going to keep on betting with $6. Okay. So now we're going to come down to the second step of the $4 progression. We're going to bet with $4 on red. We have used the streaks, we have used the chops, we are still yet to use the terrible doubles, but let's see. Now we are going to come down to the first step of the $4 progression. Remember always which step of the which unit size progression you are in, so that you can advance or use the proper degradation. So we have a loss, so we're going to move back up to the second step of the $4 progression, and this time we're going to bet on black. You can come down 2 or 3 steps into the degradation. It will solely depend on you and on your risk appetite and the kind of player you are. So again we're going to come down to the first step of the $4 progression. Okay, nice. Now we are back to $2, but on the second step of the $2 progression. Remember that always we are staying on the same unit size for 2 rounds, either while we are going through the progression or we are coming down through the degradation. We are following a process here properly. Okay, we have a loss, so we are going to go up to the $4 progression, but on the first step of the $4 progression. You can decide your stop loss on the basis of the, as I said, that this progression has a limitation, and I have made sure that I keep this progression really short, maybe not too short, but kind of in the medium range, so that each and every one of you can use it, or you can have your own set of stop loss, according to your session target. Anyway, we're going to move to the second step of the $4 progression, and we're going to bet on black, and we're not going to consider it as chop until we face chops back to back on the 4 rounds. So yeah, let's spin. We're still chasing the winner here. Okay, we have a win, I think. Yes, we do. So now we are going to come back down to the first step of the $4 progression, but we're going to keep on betting with $4 on the black. It can be time consuming, but this kind of progression and degradation process will keep you in the game for longer time. Okay, so now again we're going to move to red, but with the $4 unit size, but on the second step of the $4 progression. Okay, now we're going to move up to the $6 progression, and yeah, we're going to still chase the winners, because as I said, for considering it to be a chop, we need back-to-back chops for the 4 rounds. Okay, so now it's officially a chop. So this time we're gonna bet on black, but with the second step of the $6 progression. Let's see. Now you and I both know that if you're gonna keep on betting on this on each and every round, you're gonna give the casino a bit of edge, because the longer we play, the RTP suggests that we are gonna lose money, isn't it? So it's better to go ahead with a safer progression. That's all we can do, control our bet size. Other than that, everything else is out of our control. So now it's red, so we are going to move to the $8. Okay, so yes, I think we were at the second step of the $6 progression. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, we're going to move to from 6. Sorry, from 6, so we're going to move to $10. Okay, and we're going to bet on red. But remember, we are on the first step of the $10 progression. Okay, it's red, we win. So we are going to come back down to the second step of the $6 progression. Now at this point of time, you can come down at any step. according to your comfort zone, according to your risk appetite. But I'm following a system here for the demonstration purposes. But you can always be flexible with your system. Again, we're gonna bet with $6. First step of the $6 degradation. In this case, on the red. Okay, we lose. So now we're gonna move to black, but with same $6 unit size. Second step of the $6 progression. Remember that. Always keep in mind in which step of the which unit sizes progression you are in, so that it doesn't become really confusing. Now we're gonna move to red, but with $10. Okay, we win. Red. Now we're gonna come back down to $6. Second step of the $6. Okay, we win. We're gonna remain on $6 because we're down to the first step of $6 degradation. Just the way we went up, that's the same way we are coming down. Okay. At this point of time, you can easily come back down to $4. As you can see, we are close to the positives. But I'm following a system for demonstration purposes. I always ask you to be flexible, okay, with your system. Anyway, we're gonna move to the second step of the $6 progression. Okay, we lose. So we're gonna move up to $10 and we're gonna bet on red. Okay. Okay, we win. Again, we are gonna come back down to $6. As I said, it can be time consuming, but it's gonna keep you in the game for longer runs. Okay. Now we're gonna bet with $10 on black. Okay. So we lose. So we're gonna move to the second step of $10. In this case, we're gonna bet on red. We have a few more steps remaining in the progression. Let's see what happens. And after that, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna use my stop loss. Okay. So in this case, as you can see, the last 4 rounds have been choppy. So we're gonna follow the chop now. And from $10, we're gonna move to 14. Okay. And then there is another step which we are going to follow, and after that it's a stop loss. Okay, so in this case we're going to move to 14 from 10 and we're going to bet on red. Okay, because we are following the chop. Let's see what happens. If we hit a stop loss, I'm going to present it in front of you as it is. Okay, it's not a problem. Okay, we win. So we're going to come back, we're going to follow the chop, but in this case we're going to bet with $10. Remember the second step of the $10 progression, and in this case we are using it as degradation, and we're going to bet on black because we are following the chop. Okay, we win. So we're going to come back down to the first step of the $10 degradation. So we are going to bet on red this time because we are still following the chop. Okay, we lose. So in this case, we're going to bet on black, but with the second step of the $10 progression. Remember, we are betting on each and every round. Okay, so this type of things will happen. Again, we're going to move from 10 to 14. Okay, and we're going to bet on red. We are no longer following the chop here because it's been like that. So yes, so we're going to bet with 14. First step of the 14 unit progression. Okay, we win. We're going to come back down to now. In this kind of situation, as you can see, the last 4 rounds, it's been terrible doubles, as you can understand. So we can follow the black here. Okay, we're gonna go with black. Okay, by assuming the next two rounds are gonna be black because we are following the trend. So the trend is saying that it's been terrible doubles in the last four rounds. So let's go with black. It's $10. Let's see what happens. We are following the trend. Okay, whether it's whether it's the last number on the basis of or on the basis of the chop, whatever it is. Okay, so now again we are gonna bet with $10 on black. And but remember, we are on the first step of the $10 progression. Okay, in this case regression. Now as I said, you can easily come back down to the $6 or $4 because we are close to creation positives, but I'm following a system here. So the terrible double has ended. So this time we are following the winner once again, but second step of the $10 progression, and we're going to bet with red. Let's see. Be flexible with your system. Okay, so even if I hit my stop loss due to the progression, and I've been rigid with my progression and regression for demonstration purposes, but if you could come down to your base bet or even to the $2 step or to the $4 step or even to the $6 step, you would have had more chances, because we were so close to the session positives. But here I stuck to my system because I wanted to give you the demonstration. Okay, I think the last bit was $10, and second step or first step I forgot here. Second step, so I'm going to move to $14. Okay, and in this case the last four rounds have been choppy, so we're going to follow the chop and we're going to bet on red with $14. Okay, sometimes it can be confusing because I'm playing and talking to you at the same time, but as I said, if you can be a bit more flexible, then you can have better results, obviously. Okay, so now again we're going to chase the winner, but with same $14 unit size. The chop has ended. We're going to go till 16. Okay, not over that. As I said, we're not going to go over 16. That's my stop loss. Okay, so again we're going to bet on black with 14. First step of the 14. Okay, another win. Great. We're going to come back down to 10, but in this case you could easily come back down to 6, as you can understand. Okay, that's the essence of this strategy. Be flexible. Okay, be flexible, and the progression is going to give you multiple chances. And we're gonna, I think, yes, we're gonna go up to 14 in this case, to red. Okay, it's a win. So again we're gonna come back down to 10, but on red. Okay, great. So in this case we are back in positives, and I feel that I have demonstrated you properly how to use the progression degradation. So I'm not going to use the proper degradation here because that's going to put me in further risk. I don't want to take that much of exposure, so I'm going to come back down to the base bet. Okay, yeah, I know I'm only up by 7, but that's fine. There's no need to take that gradual degradation at this point of time. This is what I was talking about. Okay, you don't need to follow that same 6, 4 and all of the stuff. You can bet with $1 or $2. Okay, so now I'm going to come back down to my base bet of $1. Okay, and let's bet with red. Always minimize your risks. Okay, wins are going to come. This progression is built like that. You're going to remain in the game for longer runs, but if you act sensibly and if you can use the progression and degradation with flexibility. Wow, what a word. Anyway, so again we're gonna bet on red with $1. Use it with flexibility. Wow. Again we win. Great. Now this kind of streaks what we need. Okay, now many of you may say, well, if I would have used the degradation properly, I could have been up a lot. Now staying on the hindsight, it's easier to say I'm minimizing the risks. Okay, We are not going to be this much lucky every time. So we will have to be flexible. I hope you can understand. Okay, now we are moving to the second step of $1 progression once again. Let's see what happens. Okay, we lose. So now we're going to move up to $2. Remember that we are not considering it as chop before 4 rounds. Okay, whether it's a terrible double or chop, we need to take 4 rounds of data into consideration. Okay, we win. So we are gonna come back down to the $1, but second step of the $1 progression or degradation, whatever you want to call it. We win. Great. Now we are back down to the, although we are betting with same $1, but we are back to the first step. Okay, remember that. You don't need to increase your bet size just after a single loss. So always remember in which step of the which progression and degradation you are in. Okay, so we are up by $11. As you can see, we managed our risk properly, and we are taking, limited, but whatever you want to call it, limited risk, in each and every round. And I didn't follow the gradual degradation because I didn't need to. I was back well within the session positive, so I decided not to take that much of risk anymore. Again, we are gonna follow the winner here. Second step of the $1 progression. Let's see. Okay, another loss. We're gonna move up to $2. Again, it hasn't been 4 rounds for chops, so yeah, we can chase the winner still. Let's see. Okay, it's a win. So we're gonna come back down to $1. But second step, remember, if we lose this one, then the next bet is gonna be up to $2. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Always remember in which step of the progression of which unit size you are in. Okay, another win. Great. I know it's taking longer. Okay, I could have easily bet with $5 or $10 to make it more exciting, but the importance or essence of a video lies in its technicalities and in its progression, especially when it comes to a game like roulette. Okay, so just because I'm betting with a really low betting amount, okay, that doesn't mean the video has to be boring or anything like that. Those of you who have lost their money on online casinos know exactly what I'm saying. I just don't do clickbaits or just for showcasing it to how exciting this strategy is. I'm not going to start my betting with $1,000, in a simulator. I don't do that. If I use a $1 unit size or $10 unit size, you will understand the same thing. And you are going to go ahead and use it according to your risk appetite and bankroll. So I don't need to tell you that what you need to do. You know it better than me. We are moving slowly, but we are moving nonetheless. Great. We are up by 13. Let's see if we can get to 20. It will take time, I know that. It will take time. But it's fine, I'm minimizing my risks and I'm following the process properly. There is no point in using $1,000 unit size, especially on a simulator. Okay, so we're up to $2. Let's see. First step of the $2 progression. Okay, great. I didn't mean to drag this video this long, but I knew that the kind of progression and degradation we are taking, the safety measure, this video is gonna get a bit dragged, bit longer. But anyway, those of you who have understood it already, you can leave if you want to. I'm not gonna feel bad. My main motive behind each and every video is to make sure that you understand the strategy and the progression and degradation properly, That's my one and only motive. If you have understood it, you can very well leave. I don't mind. I know your time is valuable. Another win, great. We need back-to-back streaks, something like this, back-to-back same colors. That's gonna be really helpful. Although we are following the chops, but for that we need 3 to 4 rounds, right, to determine whether it's a chop or not. At least that's how I determined whether it's a chop or not. I need to take at least the data of 4 rounds. Okay, it's a loss. So we're gonna move to the second step of the $1 progression. We're not directly increasing our bet size just after a single loss. Okay, another loss. Now we are going to move to $2. Okay, now we can understand why I'm not considering it as a chop until I have the data of last 4 rounds. Okay, now I think we're going to move back down to $1. Yes, as I'm talking to you at the same time while playing, so you can understand. If you find that in some steps I've taken one more steps or one less steps, I apologize for that because sometimes it can be confusing. I hope you can understand. So we're going to bet with $2 because we were at the second step of $1 progression. Okay, so now we're going to bet with $2 on red. Okay, it's a win. Red. We are close to our target. We're going to bet with $1 on red this time. Another win. Just another win is required. Now we are back to the first step of $1 progression. Remember that always. Always keep that in mind. Wow. Come on, another win was needed. Anyway, so we're gonna follow the black this time with second step of $1 probation. Now tell me how many of you have faced this situation when you were close to 100, let's say, or your target, your predetermined target of 20 or 30, whatever, and you didn't stop betting. You were at 18 or you were at 18 or 19, so you didn't stop betting and you said to yourself, well, let me reach to 20, and after sometimes you were on negatives. That has happened to me. I've been stubborn and I thought, well, let's get onto this even number and then I'm going to stop betting, and well, that didn't end up well. Anyway, so we are going to increase our bet size to $2 and bet on black. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's a win. Come back down to the second step of $1 progression. I hope we get to 20. Okay, we do. Great. So I know this video has become lengthier or longer than I originally anticipated it to be, but I hope you guys have understood the strategy properly, and I hope that this strategy will help you in your game. And yeah, for the last few days I haven't been consistent with my videos for various reasons, and I wasn't really feeling like, I was thinking about to come up with something quality content, something like this. So yeah, I thought of this idea, tried it on demo on several times. Sometimes I hit my stop loss. I'm gonna accept it. Okay, this is a strategy like that. Okay, I've restricted it to the $16 limit. Okay, so I hit my stop loss sometimes, but let me know how it worked for you. Okay, and try it out on demo at first. Then, if you become confident and if you want to try it online, then go ahead and do it. Be your own judge. And thanks for watching, guys. Keep on supporting, and I can't be enough grateful for the supports you guys have shown me. And yeah, I'm gonna see you in the next video.